Good morning, students. Myself Rohit Agrawal. Today we are going to discuss an important chapter of business studies, chapter number 2, that is principle of management. This chapter is important from two aspects. First and foremost, it's a part of our course, so it is important, and along with this, it helps in project work also. As you know, in class 12 you have to make a project. So in that particular project, this topic is really very is going to be helpful for you guys. Okay. So without wasting a time, we are just going to start chapter number 2, that is principles of management. First and foremost, we'll get the meaning of the term principles of management. What do you mean by the term principle of management? Principle of management are general guidelines. Principle of management are general guidelines. They just help the management for decision making. In an organization, there are n number of situations in which organization have to or the management have to take decisions. So बच्चों, उन डिसीजंस को लेने के लिए क्या हमें कुछ सपोर्ट मिल सकता है? आंसर इज यस. These principles of management help the management for the purpose of making decisions. Okay, so who have given these principles? Any answer from your side, guys? Any one of you? Okay, there are two theorists. One is Mr. Henry Fayol and other one Mr. F.W. Taylor. Both have a significant role in their respective field. Mr. Henry Fayol, he is a father of general management. He is a father of general management. There's a one story behind him. He born in 1841 and he joined a mining engineering company in 1860. At that time, when he joined that company, the company was at the verge of bankruptcy. मतलब company बंद होने की कगार पे थी. At that time, he joined that company, and the managing directors or other directors or some experience holders of the company have simply raised their hands कि no, they will not going to continue that company. But at that point of time, Mr. Fayol have implemented some principles through observation, experimentations, and he again rebuilt that particular company. And in 1888, he became a managing director of that particular company. So, guys, how he again rebuilt that company? Just with the help of the principles of management. He is a French management theorist and he works in a mining engineering company. So, what are these principles? How many principles are there? There are only 14 principles, students. You know what? Only 14? Yes, I know. Sir, आप only 14 बोल रहे हैं? Yes, exactly. Because जब हम इनको पढ़ लेंगे तो हम भी ऐसे ही बोलेंगे, आप सब भी ऐसे ही बोलेंगे. Yes, sir. These are only 14 principles. Okay. There is one pictorial presentation in front of you guys. There is one picture. Have you seen this picture? Is it visible to all of you? Yes. She is दादी. Okay, ये हमारी दादी है. ठीक है. Now what the दादी is doing? She is using some course. तो दादी use courses. दादी use courses. Okay, this is what? I don't know. I also don't know what is this दादी use courses. So just go through some points and with the help of that point, we will interpret what is this दादी use courses. Okay, so let's begin with the principles. So first principle, D for discipline. D for discipline. Okay, wait. We'll just discuss this later. What does D for discipline? First and foremost, the first principle is principle of discipline. What does the principle of discipline means? It means follow rules and regulations for systematic working. As we know, without discipline, we cannot achieve our goal because discipline helps us to provide a system. With the help of the discipline, we can perform the work in a systematic manner. So, can we say to perform a work in a systematic manner, there should be a discipline? Answer is yes. Because without following the rules and regulations, we cannot obey that particular task. Or we cannot obey that rules and regulations without any restrictions, without any strict rules. There are some advantages as well as consequences. If we follow this particular principle, so we can say it will provide the smooth and systematic working. And some consequences, if we will not follow this principle, then what's the consequences of violation? It's a disobey of rules and regulation. And guys, students, as you know, without rules and regulations, there is no possibility to run any organization in any manner. There should be or there must be a rules and regulation behind any organization to run that organization in a smooth and systematic manner. Oh, first principle आपको समझ में आया होगा? Okay, let's move with second one. Second principle is authority and responsibility. Now, what do you mean by the term authority and responsibility? The term authority itself means a power. Authority means a power, and responsibility means obligations. Responsibility means obligations. When we are talking about the power, if we are getting a power, then there should be a parallelly obligations must be there. So with the help of that particular power, we can fulfill that responsibility, or we will fulfill that obligations. If we have a power and if we have a no obligations, then there might be a possibility we will misuse that power. So there should be a balance between authority and responsibility. So if we are saying there should be a balance between authority and responsibility, what does it mean? In simple terms, we can say if we have some power, so there might be a parallelly some obligations to complete the task with the help of that power. Otherwise, there might be a misuse of that power. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of this term authority and responsibility? It will prevent misuse and it will help to fix responsibilities. And if we will not follow this principle, so what are the consequences? Excess lead to misuse. What does it mean? Excess means if we will get excess power or if we get excess obligation, it will ultimately lead to a misuse of that power, or in absence of power, we will not able to fulfill our responsibility. Okay. Now I have bifurcated this A in two types. A for authority, bacho. Authority that might be official as well as personal. So we cannot say authority is a formal or it's a informal. It can be a formal as well as informal. So here the term first, authority official as well as personal. Official authority is authority to a command and personal authority is authority to individual manner. If we are talking about the individual person, it means I am or that particular person having a personal authority. While if we are talking about any particular designation, that means that is a official authority. Hope the term is clear to you guys. Okay. So in this way we are done with the second principle, that is authority and responsibility. Now moving to a third principle. Again D for division of work. Now what do you mean by the term division of work? बहुत सिंपल टर्म्स में अगर अपन बात करें, डिवीजन ऑफ वर्क मींस काम को बांटना. सो व्हाट इन दैट वी कैन से किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर देयर आर लॉट ऑफ वर्क, देयर इज लॉट ऑफ वर्क. सो हाउ दे डिवाइड दैट पर्टिकुलर वर्क? They will break that work in small tasks, and that particular task is assigned to some specialized person, a person who is having a qualification, having a right qualification as well as having some experience to accomplish that particular work. So division of work lead to a specialization as well as it increase efficiency, because when we are doing the work in a repetitive manner and in a continuous manner, it lead to increase efficiency. But what's the drawback or what's the consequences if we will not follow the principle division of work? It lead to a wastage of time as well as efforts. It means if we are not dividing the work and we are ready to do any sort of a work, so we cannot do that work in an efficient manner, and if we are not efficient, it means somehow हम अपने wastage, अपने resources को waste कर रहे हैं, that is time as well as other efforts. Now I hope point is clear to you guys. Okay. Now moving to a fourth part, that is what word is I for initiative. What does it? I means initiative. We'll discuss it later. What does the term I means? Initiative. Here the term initiative means the first step with self motivation. It should be encouraged. What does it means? When we are doing any activity with ourselves, अगर हमने खुद से आगे रह के कुछ करा, हमने खुद से कुछ करा, that is what first step with self motivation. That is what a initiative. According to these principles, organization should have allow some initiatives to their employees. So what's the advantage? If we will allow or if we permit our employees to take the initiative, does it fruitful or useful for an organization? Answer is yes. How? What are the advantages of initiative? Okay, we can say it increase mental growth. But this is a sign of increase. This increase mental growth as well as commitment levels of employees, because whenever suggestions are welcome in an organization, it will ultimately give us satisfaction. It will increase our mental growth and somehow we will be committed to achieve our goal, because when we take initiative and someone welcome that, we will feel a most satisfactory in that at that time. And what are the consequences if we will not follow that particular principles? So consequences lead to a frustration as well as non-cooperation. If we will not allow anyone to participate, then that particular guy will get frustrated, or that particular person will get frustrated, and it lead to a non-cooperation. They will not cooperate with each other. So guys, let's have a word. We'll make one word. D for discipline, A for authority and responsibility, again D for division of work, and I for initiative. If you compile this work, D for division, so D, A for authority and responsibility, A, again D for division of work, and I for initiative. Here the words become the D. Okay, so this is the first word, first four word dadi. Now three more words, or even 7 4 3 7 7 3 10 more words are there. With the help of this, we will complete 14 principles of management. Today we are concluding our session with these 4 principles. I will discuss remaining 10 principles in my next session. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day. Have a good day.